Hi, YouTube family. Auntie is here. It is the start of the weekend. We got curls. We got scoop. We give hugs. So come on. Little extra one for the holiday. There is a weekend edition that goes up. So support it. It's got pictures and it's fancy. Have a lovely young lady, LaShawna Simon, who puts it all together. So thank you, LaShawna, but you will see the weekend edition. Will and Jada continuing to be at the top of headlines. In a recent interview with the Breakfast Club on Power 105, Marlon Wayans said it was Jada who caused Will to go up on a stage and slap Chris Rock and kind of like put a major dent in his career. He says it's not like him to do that. And I've said the same thing. He suggested that maybe Will get some kind of, I don't know, therapeutic help or just someone to talk to because you've had this immaculate career and then you go and do something like this. And he said that Jada was to blame. We know that Will Smith is in India, and they said that Jada got on the plane and she went too. So I'm not an advocate of divorce, but I just think that some people don't need to be together. But I hope that Will is over there getting the healing that he needs, and I hope that when he comes back, he'll apologize to Chris Rock, because they said he still has not apologized to Chris Rock. In the stunner for CBS, James Corden is stepping away from the Late Late Show. He's been with the show on CBS for 9 years, best known for carpool karaoke. Here's something that you probably don't know. When people say, why is he leaving? Do you know he gets more viewers on YouTube than CBS? Check this out. He has 27 million subscribers on YouTube. He's had 10 billion views. The carpool karaoke things are good. I think he wants to go back home. He is not from here. He is from London. So he probably wants to take his family and go back home. He says he wants to do some writing, but I think he misses being back home. He's not going away anytime soon. He's not leaving until next May, which means we got about 200 more shows with James Corden. Ellen DeGeneres, she filmed her last show yesterday and she was tearful and she was crying, and it was just 2 years ago that she was caught up in a workplace scandal, that her workplace was toxic. The people that she had working for her were mean, and it's just kind of like spilled over. After 19 seasons, we'll see this final episode in May, but it was a tearful goodbye from Ellen DeGeneres. Steve Harvey, he got another gig. In addition to the gigs that he got, I don't know who'd be keeping a gig more, Steve or Keke Palmer. Steve Harvey has teamed up with a Black-founded and owned app about film and television entertainment. It's called Pop Viewers. Steve Harvey in the statement said that diverse voices more need to be heard. Now, J. Anthony Brown, who we first met on Tom Joyner's show, he has quietly retired from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I think his health had a lot to do, I think, between diabetes. I'm telling you, I think I could have sworn I heard him say he had leukemia. I think his health challenges really made him say, you know what, I'll continue doing Tyler Perry's assisted living, but I'm going to take a break from other things. But he has quietly retired, as I say, from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and we wish J. Anthony Brown well. Country sensation Dolly Parton. She has had a change of heart. You know, it was a few weeks ago they announced who was going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, who was nominated. Dolly Parton said, take me out. I'm a country star. I'm not a rock and roll artist. She really didn't want to take the place of a rock artist, because there are a lot of people that belong in the Rock Hall of Fame and then they're not. Pat Benatar. So Dolly said, pull my name out. Well, the Rock Hall of Fame said, it's too late. They're voting. And we're going to find out in a few weeks who is actually going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dolly Parton has had a change of mind. She says if she is accepted into the Rock Hall of Fame, she will accept gracefully, she said, and say thank you. She felt that as an artist, she didn't deserve that. But There's such controversy with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You have your rock purist. You know they don't want to see no rap or hip hop and no Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They don't want to see it. Maybe there should just be a music Hall of Fame, because you would be astounded, and you should Google it. Who has never been inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? You would be alarmed. You really would. You'd be like, a lot of people, as I said, Pat Benatar, I just loved her from the 80s. But Dolly Parton says she'll accept. We're going to find out real soon who's going to be nominated into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Good news for A$AP Rocky. The guns that were found in his house are not linked to the guns involved in the shooting that they say he was involved in last November. Let's keep Miss Juicy in our prayers. The reality star from Little Women Atlanta is in ICU. They don't know if it was a stroke or a massive heart attack. Although we know it was massive, and keep her in prayer. People Magazine. The beautiful issue is out. Dame Helen Mirren is gracing the cover. You got Zendaya, you got Oprah, you've got Gail. Who else is in here? Oprah, Gail, Zendaya, Sandra Bullock, Adele. There's a lot of people. It's People Magazine's beautiful issue on newsstands now. Next week, I'm going to have details on some new additions. You know, The Best Man is being made into a 10-episode TV series. Well, you're going to be real surprised when you hear about the newcomers who are coming, in addition to the regulars. The OWN channel is going to have a soul food cooking show. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I know they're going to have Melba's from Harlem, New York represented, but I'm going to have all the details on that. I do podcasting. I do a podcast, Patty and the Millennials, where I'm the baby boomer, and there are millennials and there are Gen X. And this week we talk about bullying. Oftentimes, what led me to have this discussion over the weekend, I met this woman, and she was just telling me all the problems that her son was having. He's on the spectrum of autism, but just how mean kids can be. And it just made me think that kids that are adults, they grow up to be adults, because there's a reason why people don't want to go into some workplaces, because there's that bully. There are bullies in the church. There are bullies in community organizations, sororities. There are bullies everywhere. And it starts when they're young. As a parent, how do you deal with that when your child is being bullied? You know, now y'all gonna say I'm all wrong because I'm from the school of you let me know somebody hit you because we going up to the school and you gonna hit them back. Now I know a lot of people say, Patty, why are you gonna say that? Because you gotta let people know that they can't mess with you. But I know situations are different. Bullying just rattles me, and I guess that's like one of my pet peeves. But we talk about it because a lot of people that were bullies as children do not do well as adults. But then some are in positions of power, and hell, they're out here bullying people. It was just a great conversation from all ways. I think all of us think a little different about how you deal with bullying. But you can find Patty and the Millennials. It's a podcast. Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio podcast, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify and Pandora. I know I said something twice, but you can check it out. It was great conversation. It's me, millennials, Gen X, men, women, had a psychologist join us. So it was a great conversation, and I think that conversation is important and it's needed, and something like bullying should definitely be addressed. I think I went through everything. Next week, yes, I got a lot of new scoop and new developments and things. So just keep it here. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing, and leave a comment. A lot of people are in shock when they say, oh, damn, she be reading the comments. And give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Have a great weekend. Hope it is a good weekend. Can you believe that May is like here? Sunday is going to be May, the 1st of May. Whew, this year, the time, it is going by fast. Be grateful and value the time that you have. I'm Patty Jackson. Thanks for joining me. I am your auntie. of pop culture.